Hey, what's up, everybody? Garrick Rumley here with Duty to Train. Pistol shooting is very easy to become good at, and there's one specific reason that most beginner pistol shooters never actually become any good, and it's very easily remedied, so I want to talk about that in this video. So, there's really one key thing that you have to do in order to become a better pistol shooter, and it's dry fire. And it's not very fun to do, and that's the reason that a lot of people don't do it. But if you ask any professional shooter, any really good shooter, they'll dry fire a lot. And all dry fire is pulling the trigger without any bullets in your gun. And the reason that you need to do this is because, especially as a beginner, you don't have any fundamentals like trigger control. Pulling your trigger without moving your gun at all, like that, is very difficult for beginner shooters because they're completely distracted by the gunshot. So lots of times beginner pistol shooters will do what's called jerk the trigger. And so they'll jerk it like that and it throws off your shot and it makes you very inaccurate. So dry firing allows you to really focus on the fundamentals. So if I wanted to teach you proper grip, proper sight alignment, proper stance, proper trigger control, it would be very hard for me to do that at a range when you're firing, everybody else is firing around you. Because if I told you, really feel your trigger, right? How does your trigger feel in your hand? If you're not shooting, it's very easy to understand exactly how that trigger feels. Like right now, I can feel the take, it's called the slack, the wall, the break, and then listen, the reset, right? There's lots of small little things that go on during pistol shooting that are very hard to pick up on if you're distracted by all these gunshots. You can't focus on what you actually need to focus on. And so that's the part where dry fire comes in. And even the best shooters in the world do this all the time. If they want to hone in a specific skill set, they'll dry fire. And the best part about dry fire, it's annoying. It's a little bit boring, but the best part is it's free. It doesn't cost you a penny and it makes you really, really good. And so dry fire are my pistol training program. Go to dutytotrain.com, duty, the number 2, train.com. It is the easiest way to become a better shooter. And it's completely free. All you have to do is stick in your email. And the reason you have to stick in your email is because you have to sign off on our liability waiver. It just prevents you from suing me if something goes wrong. But it walks you through everything you need to know to learn the skills to defend yourself with a pistol. And I made it very, very simple. And the reason why is because you're not going to remember 17 different things. If somebody breaks into your house in the middle of the night, you're going to fall back on the fundamentals and you're going to remember 3, 4, 5 things, right? You're going to get tunnel vision. Your memory is going to go, everything just, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall back to the level of your training. I forget who was the first person to say that. Some people say it was like a Greek, someone in the military or something like that. Some people attribute it to a Navy SEAL. But either way, it's true. And in order to be able to rise to the occasion, and which you really never do, you do fall back on your training, but you can rise to the occasion if you do have proper training. But in order to ensure that you know what you're doing with this pistol, you have to have lots of repetitions. And it's really hard to do that at the range as a beginner. One, because it's expensive, but two, again, you just can't focus on the fundamentals. You can't focus on the minutia of pistol shooting if everybody's shooting all around you. It's like if you wanted to learn how to play basketball or you wanted to learn how to play golf or something like that. Imagine going to a basketball camp or a golf camp or something like that. And they're like, okay, everybody, no one here has played basketball before. No one here has golfed before. We're going to sit here. We're going to practice. We're going to concentrate. And then all of a sudden they bring out like 20 guys and everybody starts shooting guns. And they're like, okay, now practice. You'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't focus with all of this shooting going on, right? But because shooting requires you to shoot, people think it's very natural to just go to the range and train, and that's the only place that you train. And nothing could be further from the truth. The best place to train as a beginner is at home until you really instill the fundamentals, and then you take those skills to the range, test out your skills, and then you can kind of determine what you're doing well and what you're not based on how you're shooting and the performance your own shooting performance. So pistol shooting is easy. It's not hard, but most beginner pistol shooters, they take one class, It's like cramming for a test. You can't learn proper pistol shooting techniques in a 1 or 2 hour class, right? It's like cramming for a test. If you cram for a test on finals, you might remember enough to like pass the test the next day, but you're not going to remember anything 2 weeks from then. And you're definitely not going to remember the information 3 months out. What you need to be able to do is relearn the information whenever you need to. Say you're going to go shooting with some friends the night before, you throw on a Duty to Train video, 15, 30 minutes, each video is 15 minutes long. Do 2 videos, practice some dry fire, practice your techniques, re-up your skills. And then once you go out with your friends, your grip is good, your stance is good, your sight alignment's good, your trigger control is good, and you're going to shoot a lot better. You're going to have a lot of fun. But just like anything in life, in order to become good at something, it usually requires some effort. It usually requires doing things that aren't really that fun. In order to become a really good bike rider, it'd be nice to be able to just go downhill all the time. But in order to become the best bike rider in the world, you have to do hill repeats. In order to become the best sprinter in the world, you have to do grueling training. And I'm not saying you have to do this all the time, but you have to be able to, you have to dry fire. And even though it's not that fun, it is absolutely essential that you do it. And a lot of people don't know how to dry fire correctly. And so that's what my program teaches you is it just walks you through everything that you need to do. And then once you complete the program, you will have far more skills than you would have if you just went to like a one-off 2-hour class. In-person classes are really, really great, but if you can only afford one of them, still go to them. An in-person class is great, but eventually you're going to forget and you need a way to relearn those skills without paying an extra $200, because especially nowadays, nobody has the money for $200 a pop class. So go to dutytotrain.com, check out the training. It's 100% free. If you have any questions, email us at support@dutytotrain.com. And if you have specific questions or you'd like me to do videos on specific training techniques, or even if you have a question like, oh, I want to buy a gun, I don't really know what to get, just shoot a comment down below. I will answer any questions. This is really just becoming a passion project of mine, and anything that I can do to help you out. I'm a Marine Corps champion pistol shooter. I have access to lots of different people who are even more trained than I am. So if there's something that I don't know the answer to, I could easily get the information, and I'd be happy to help you out. So like, subscribe to this video. I'd really appreciate it. And if you could just tell anyone you know who needs some pistol training that they can go to dutytotrain.com, I'd really appreciate it if you could spread the word, because this is the easiest and best way for beginners to learn how to shoot pistols. I'm trying to get the word out, and any help that you could provide would be awesome and much appreciated. So until next time, stay safe, live free. Remember, pistol shooting is easy with the right program, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.